Hey there, LJ back. Haven't been on live in a bit, but I'm always glad to be back and always honored whenever you share your attention with me. Such a big deal in today's rich, full world, right? And I'm liking my setup here in our new house. Good spot for some of my vids, anyways. And today I thought, I might as well tell you a little bit of why. And really, this is because I'm like thinking about this, realizing this still, even today, is why I want to share this with you. Why, for me, it's become so about using my yoga. And yes, today I am really talking about that mat practice, which is what most of us think of when we think of yoga, right? But my first and most holy mission is to remind that yoga is not just the poses. It's all sorts of things that can reconnect us, including journaling, walking, dancing even can be yoga. But yes, talking about that mat practice today. Why I've evolved for myself and for most of the people I work with, to moving towards daily with my use of the mat practice and personalized, because as I've addressed it more like this with myself, it's really made a huge difference. And because I was like a lot of us when I first started. Oh, my incense is like getting in my face here. When I first started using my mat practices more and more and seeing the power of how I would feel when I would do it in maybe that traditional way, which most of us think of, where you go to a class and someone else leads you, right? And it might be like an hour and a half class. So for a lot of us, we feel the benefits of going to a class. And maybe we go once a week, maybe we go a few times a week. Some people might even go to a class every day like that. And sure, feel amazing power and benefit and differences. But for a lot of us, first of all, that's not as practical to try to fit that into our schedule. But I also find what's different about when we make it more about something we do, yes, every day, but more in a personalized way, and even when we're using it by ourselves. So I would never want to talk anyone out of going into community and finding connection, especially in today's time. So I still would vote that anytime we can get out, for the human connection of doing yoga, even the mat practice, with and around other people, do, for sure. Amazing, wonderful forms of yoga. And I find every time I go to a group yoga class with a teacher, I learn something new every time, because everyone's expressing it their own way and doing their own version. So it's always worth it, and yes, do that and do it that way. But for me, for various reasons, it became about bringing it home pretty early on, even in my teacher training, but even as a teacher too, because also as a teacher, it becomes about having your own practice within teaching, but also as a mom, and also as someone who I was in chronic pain for 10 years and trying to solve that. So for various reasons, and also with the approaches that I learned in addressing my own chronic pain and really learning how to get efficient with it, and then getting to work with other people with what I learned in personalizing a practice, I've been very convinced of the power and good reason for most of us to use more of a personalized practice, something that's really built for us specifically to remedy and work with whatever is true with the body at this age and stage of life, whether you're 12 or 120. But the reason, the power, the difference of not only making it personalized, so making sure we're doing exactly what is a good fit for our body today, and even addressing other elements of our lives, and even can be built to address things like mood issues, like anxiety and depression. So all sorts of magic we can do with that customized mat practice when we get to create that and use that for ourselves. Okay, now my incense is really in my face. I'm going to put it down. Okay. But also, there's a big difference when we use it every day. And not to say that if we find ourselves disciplined enough, which really it is about discipline, which is a word I don't really like, but there seems to be an importance to it. But really, when we've decided that we want to be doing something to take care of ourselves, and we want to know that we're doing that, and it does seem to be, and it is important, not even just seems to be, it is, that we're doing something more like every day. I mean, everybody agrees on that in the health and wellness fields. So I tell you, the amazing power and differences we can feel and create, and this is from my own experience too, with using a personalized practice and doing it more like every day can change and shift so much so fast. So anywhere from a lot of the people I get to work with are people who might have chronic pain issues that are really just gotten so exacerbated that they're just ready to actually commit to anything that will bring relief. And those will sometimes be the most disciplined people, the people who got there because they were in pain. This was me. It was because I was in pain. And when I finally found the right practice for me too, and saw how I felt when I used it every day, that was convincing enough to keep doing it because I really liked how I felt. And then I always see the value and power of the days we don't do it. If we do get super daily with it, but then we miss an occasional day, we don't fall apart, but we do notice some differences. And they may be subtle differences. They are definitely energy differences, mood differences, mind differences, much less how we're feeling in the body when we don't fit it in. And then what's really cool about it is I love this part too for myself as well, because even though I teach and speak about and write about yoga, and even though it's my thing, and even though I love the value and power of those poses, to get myself to do it each day is still a thing, right? And what's so cool is when we personalize it, we can make it actually super short so that it can be done in 15, 20 minutes a day. It's so great. I really love how well it works. So I just more and more am just so stoked when I connect with the people who are ready for that, and just knowing that you're doing something each day that's the perfect medicine for you in a physical therapy sense, yes. So if you've got any issues going on, it's going to help you fix it, help you make it better. If you don't have issues, it's going to help you prevent issues, especially if you like to run and jump and play. It's also tuning our energy so much, energy medicine, helping us let go of stuck energy, old energy, even stored trauma, stress. It's such a huge agent and helper for stress. Even just knowing that each day, daily life for all of us is stressful, right? And so just real huge differences when we're using these poses and the power of adding the breath and even the symbolism of what we get to do on the mat with ourselves and the reconnecting, of course, right? Because it's all about connection. It does that for us, exactly like a big sigh. It helps us let a lot of stuff go, free stuff up, clear, reconnect, and really strengthen so that we're even more aligned in how we want to feel and be to go back out into the world each day, right? So I love that too. We really notice it's an important way of how we can help ourselves be better in the world, be of more help to the people we love, be ready to respond in the ways we want to, and even have the energy to do the things we want to do, right? Much less the focus and the resolve. So it's amazing power to these practices and these mat practices, especially when they're personalized and daily. And I think I just want to say a little bit more that I know for me now, I just turned 48. I know I love it. I feel great. And sure, I feel like it keeps me in shape, right? And I know also that's not just because of the fitness of these exercises, for instance, but these exercises also do amazing things for the thyroid, balancing hormones. How many of you know people who are dealing with thyroid and hormone issues these days? It's a thing, right? And I'm so stoked to feel like I'm doing something every day to help my thyroid stay healthy, to prevent issues, to keep my hormone levels regulated, and to keep feeling young, much less agile, right? And ready to run and jump and play and climb and dance and even jump on a trampoline, right? And do cartwheels. So, helping the glands like the thyroid, helping the organs, helping digestion, helping our hearts, helping circulation, And again, just addressing it all as energy is huge. So it's awesome that with so many of these exercises that we end up putting in like a sequence when I get a chance to build a practice for someone, there's lots of reasons we build the sequence that we do for you, but you can also know it's taking care of your thyroid, it's taking care of your kidneys, your liver, your spleen, your digestion, helping you release stored trauma, helping you relieve stress, helping you boost your immunity. A lot of my clients notice they stay a lot healthier. They don't get sick in flu season as much, for instance, when they're doing their daily practice. And there's a lot of good reason for that, not just because you're boosting glands that boost immunity when you do a lot of these poses, but also the energy work you're doing with yourself each day, the ways you're managing your energy is huge and helpful and keeps you healthier, less likely to get sick, much less likely to get a sore neck or a knee problem, or all sorts of things, right? So yeah, those are just some of the reasons I just continue to love and vote for the power of a personalized practice, a daily practice. And then sure, if you get to go to a group thing and there's a beautiful yoga to that, right? Whatever you do with your body in that group, just being with the other yogis, learning from that teacher, amazing. Keep doing it, right? But, and also, I feel like eventually for all of us, it would be ideal if it did become also about that home practice and about having it be personalized, specific, so that's not too much for you, but also that it's just enough for you, right? And that it also gets to grow and change too, to help your body keep growing and changing. So, yeah. So I love that that's what I found works for me and why I keep getting myself to do it. Like some days I may not do it first thing in the morning. Today I was doing other things with my morning practices. So, but I just got myself to do it just now because I know all the ways I'm going to feel better and different and more like now what feels like myself. Because now if I don't do it now, I'm so used to how I feel when I do it. It's like I almost don't feel like myself, right? And again, luckily, it's just a matter of fitting in that 15, 20 minutes. So, yeah. So if I can ever be of service to you and offer that to you, that's one of the ways I share the yoga and meditation. And or if someone you love might be ready for that, just let them know that that's the unique way that I'm sharing the yoga as a therapy and helping you really bring it into daily life, and that I find that that's how it works best when we do it this way. So yes, thanks for listening. And another great reason, it's the yoga and all the ways that these practices do tune us, right? I love that word. All right, love you guys. Talk to you soon. Let me know if I can help you with your practices. Okay, namaste.